Before we begin this year's meeting de Avance, may we request everyone to observe a minute of silence for the opening prayer to be led by Miss Magari, to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and the Blue Night Song.
Let us put ourselves in the most holy presence of our God. For the Catholics, I invite you to make the sign of the cross as we say, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, the source of every good gift, you have called us together as servants to do your holy will. Grant us the light of your Spirit to guide us in our responsibilities as servant leaders of Ateneans Senior High School. May we work together in harmony for the common good. May we listen to one another in a spirit of genuine respect. May we encourage and reverence one another's unique talents. May we use the gift of the Spirit in creative Christian leadership. May we approach our decision-making through prayer and discernment. May we respond effectively to the needs of the students in our care. May we always learn to love so that your love may be reflected in everything that we do. God of love, you give us the gifts of the Holy Spirit for the common good. May your blessings radiate from us to others in a new spirit of service. We ask this through Jesus Christ, through the intercession of Mother Mary. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ang sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ko pagaw, ay hinatang tulakaw,
A Magis afternoon, Ateneans! I am Neil Patigayon.
A Magis afternoon, senior high. I am Kiara Briones and we are your hosts for today. Today we will be witnessing the most awaited event in Ateneo, with 31 brilliant candidates presenting their utmost best to win the August 2021 elections.
Exactly, Kiara. What I am most excited for is the fact that this is going to be conducted in an online setting, and how our candidates would pull off their platforms given our situation.
Today is a good day for our fellow learners because in just a few minutes, we will now get to know the candidates and of course, their platforms. And hopefully this would help our fellow learners in deciding on who to vote for.
Indeed, I feel immensely grateful to Ateneo for allowing our candidates to raise their voices and serve our schoolmates. Most especially to the administrators for formation. I believe without them, we would not be able to hold this event.
Speaking of administrators for formation, we have a very special guest for today. Let us all welcome Father J. Boy Gonzalez for his opening remarks.
Hi, my dear learners. Once again, I am Father J. Boy Gonzalez, your Assistant Director for Formation in the Senior High School of Ateneo de Davao University. The meeting de Avance is a crucial period for all students. Those who are running for office have said their speeches, presented their platforms, and at this time, surrender to the judgment of all in the student body. The students, you, on the other hand, have listened to them and presumably, I hope, match your needs and the candidates' platforms. And have in your mind who among them you will choose. Some choose their friends, some choose who's popular, some are worthy handful, choose not by personality, but by vision. The last one is, to me, the leader. A student leader by its very name is foremost a student. In the Ateneo, the formation of one's intellect sits side by side with leadership formation. John F. Kennedy said, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Thus, it cannot be that a leader whom one chooses is someone who disregards studies in favor of student activities and vice versa. Our leader is noticeably someone who puts all their energy to learning within and outside of the classroom and to apply what one learns to inspire others. The Ateneo's vision of leadership is transformational and inspirational. You lead by the life you live. But our situation is unfortunate. The government's mismanagement of the pandemic has made learning and leading more difficult. And thus, my advice to all the would-be leaders to put what Jim Rohn said, a good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well, and to help those who are doing well to do even better. That to me is living out Magis. The mark of the Atenean is Magis. It is not to accumulate awards and achievements. It is both the desire and action to be better, helping those who are in need to rise above their situation and to equip those who can work even better for a hope-filled future. Ralph Waldo Emerson advised leaders, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. In online education, no one is an expert. There is no path. Will all of you do the lead? And so, my dear learners, please choose wisely. If you are unsatisfied with the leadership in government, it is because of people who elected them. And how do we make a change? We need to make a choice. That choice is your right to vote. Vote for the leaders who will make people's lives worthy of their dignity.
Thank you for that wonderful message, Father J-Boy. At this juncture, we will now proceed to our next segment. In this section, we will now get to know more about our candidates, such as their advocacies, platforms, and a lot more. Mind sharing how this works, partner?
For sure. Each candidate has 1 minute and 30 seconds to introduce themselves as well as their platforms. When they have 15 seconds left, a timer will alert them. I believe all the instructions were clear. Apart from that, the candidates will be given 1 minute to answer a question on the spot. And again, when they have 15 seconds left, a timer will alert them. Lastly, we surely don't want to miss the final statement of our candidates. That is why each one of them will also be given 15 seconds for their final statement.
So without further ado, here are your first set of candidates who are running for the position of Assistant Secretary General. Please welcome Clarice E. Arellano. A virtual round of applause, please. Miss Arellano, your timer starts now.
Good day everyone, my name is Clarice Arellano from grade 11 section Cosca, and I will be running for Assistant Secretary General for this year's elections. My advocacy is summed up in this abbreviation, LIFE, LIFE. It stands for Leadership, Integrity, Faith, and Excellence. This advocacy firstly aims to build up an attitude of servant leadership in our students. Just as our Lord Jesus has served us, we are also to follow his example. As servant leaders, we are to serve our city and our fellow people with hearts full of joy and passion, and bring out the best in others as well. It also aims to build up the application of integrity, which results in being found in our morals and values to guide us in life, and serve others in the right way. As Christians, our faith in God is of utmost importance. I strongly believe that our faith plays an important role in our lives, guiding us through life itself, its decisions, and every hardships. A student who is centered and found in Christ is a world changer in the making. Lastly, as servant leaders, we are to instill an attitude of excellence. With excellence, it is an attempt to perform a task in the best way possible, whereas its counterpart, perfectionism, only sticks to one perfect way of doing things. With an attitude of excellence, this reveals our potential as future leaders, ready to take on the world and not being bound by our limits. Again, I am an advocate for life, leadership, integrity, faith, and excellence. And this is Clarice Arellano, and I thank you.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Arellano. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: you have 4 advocacies: leadership, integrity, faith, and excellence. What is your first line of action, if elected, that is aligned with any of your advocacies? Again, you have 4 advocacies: leadership, integrity, faith, and excellence. What is your first line of action, if elected, that is aligned with any of your advocacies? Your timer starts now.
My first plan of action once elected into office is to build a core team, consisting of trustworthy and responsible members ready to work together to fulfill our needed duties. But when aligned with one of my advocacies, I would say developing the attitude of servant leadership in this future core team. As a group, we'll be able to brainstorm new ideas and plan excellent future programs for our students, and also influence many people along the way. I know it seems far-fetched and somewhat a figment of my imagination, but we never really know until we get there, right? Sabi nga ng isang famous commercial, big things start from small beginnings.
Thank you, Miss Arellano. Next up, may we call on Kayla Gwyneth P. Cole. Kindly present yourself. Your timer starts now.
Gikapoy na baka sa mga panghitabo karong panahuna? Ayaw kabalaka kay anian na si Kayla. I am Kayla Gwyneth P. Cole, an aspiring Assistant Secretary General, ready to serve you. Here are my following platforms. First, Sex Ed Webinar Series or SEWS. Series of webinars catering sex education for students. It promotes learning and diminishes ignorance. It offers insights to prevent teenage pregnancy, information dissemination on HIV awareness and other related diseases. Second, Abante Batang Botante, AB. Provide knowledge on candidates running for Halalan 2022. This gives us a grasp of their profiles and backgrounds of aspiring presidentiables and other elective officers. Overall, it promotes our right to suffrage. Last but not the least, OPM Night. Foster camaraderie among students while promoting original Pinoy music. Everything paid for this program will be donated and given to the band that will perform that night. With that being said, sa panahon ngayon, kaila ang kailangan.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Cole. Your question for the impromptu section is, in this changing world, how would you promote diversity and communication between the youth with a liberating ideology and older adults who remain traditional and conservative? Again, in this changing world, how would you promote diversity and communication between the liberating ideology of the youth and older adults who remain traditional and conservative? Your timer starts now.
It takes considerable knowledge just to realize the extent of your own ignorance. Quoted by Thomas Sowell. Ignorance cannot be identified unless that person becomes educated. In line with this, I can promote information dissemination through webinars, like my platform Sex Ed Webinar Series or SEWS. Instead of arguing our ideology with the adults, we present them with facts, information, guided conclusions. We do not impose our ideas. Rather, we consistently lay our opinions and knowledge to them. Furthermore, we make them feel heard. We welcome their thoughts on the matter. In consequence, they'll be more open to our opinions. As the more we recognize them, the better chances they'll start accepting our liberating ideologies, because this is what we show them. This is how we make them feel. As the saying goes, we show and act like how we want others to act upon us.
Thank you, Miss Cole. Now may we have Kistrel May P. Melodias take on this stage. Your timer starts now.
Good day everyone, I am Kistrel May Melodias, running for the position of Assistant Secretary General. Today I will discuss my advocacy for this school year. First, we have Atenea, your online buddy. We need someone to talk to, especially in times like this. Atenea is a character created by the Office of Assistant Secretary General. This character should be relatable and reliable. She will be present in social media such as Twitter and Facebook. Not just an organizational account, but Atenea could be your guide and be a companion from your day-to-day activities. It may also answer your personal or private query abruptly. She will post quotable or relatable quotes weekly. She will accept concerns in the learners, and she will post frequently asked questions and more infographics. Second is the infographics. Since Atenea has received the concerns of the learners, she will translate it into infographics and will create frequently asked questions or facts so that it will be more understandable. The class president will gather the weekly concerns and after that will raise it via Google Documents. Office of the Secretary General will check it weekly. If it is okay to report or share it in public, then we will, but in an infographic type. Third and the last is the Orasan Atenea. Orasan Atenea will remind you how important is the time management. Atenea will send them a reminder in your Gmail every Friday night at 6 p.m. to remind you your task or any other schoolworks that need to submit the next week.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Melodias. Now, your question for the impromptu section is, how will you implement the Orasan ni Atenea? In what specific way can you make sure that it will help the learner's body manage their time wisely? Again, how will you implement the Orasan ni Atenea? In what specific way can you make sure that it will help the learner's body manage their time wisely? Your time starts now.
As for the Orasan Atenea, the Assistant Secretary General will post a daily reminder on how important is the time management, especially that here in ADU, if you are 1 minute late in the class, you will automatically considered as late, and if you are 15 minutes late, automatically absent. The Assistant Secretary General will remind the class leaders of each section to remind their fellow classmates to enter the class before it starts. Attendance is one of the key to have a B grades. Also, Orasan Atenea will send you a motivation in your Gmail account. It contains of images of different professions, dreams, things with quotes that can help you to motivate to do your schoolworks now for you to reach your dreams or goals and have a better future.
Thank you for that, Miss Melodias. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Xavier Yos C. Napoles. Your timer starts now.
Maayong adlaw, I am Xavier Yos Napoles and I am running as your pulsong Ateneans Assistant Secretary General. And for this school year, I hope that I could bring change as I want to bridge a gap between the school and the students. So I am so excited to present to you 3 of my platforms and 2 advocacies. So for my first platform, it is called Audere es Facere, or To Dare is to Do. This is a leadership summit and this aims to shape the student leaders, and this will help us to cultivate the credibilities of every student leaders. So for my second platform, it is called Quarantunes. In this platform, we will bring the online concert into existence through entertainment. And for my last platform, it is called To Inspire. We care for every student's mental health, and by assembling symposiums and giving inspirational or motivational quotes, we wish to lift everyone's life. For my 2 advocacies, I present to you hashtag Excelsior and hashtag Be Ateneu. Hashtag Excelsior, this means higher, and together we Ateneans will go higher together. No man is an island and no Atenean should be left behind. Hashtag Be Ateneu. I want to promote diversity and inclusivity in this institution, as all colors, race, culture, and even language are very much appreciated, and I want to tell everyone that we are all valid. So those are my platforms and advocacies, and please look forward to them throughout the journey.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Napoles. Your question for the impromptu section is, what distinguishes your advocacies from those of the other candidates vying for the same position? Again, what distinguishes your advocacies from those of the other candidates vying for the same position? Your time starts now.
So what distinguishes my advocacies from those of the other candidates vying from the same position is that my advocacy focuses on promoting equality for every student, where compassion, creativity, and even self-expression will never be a vexed question, because unity is very important, and I want to make it evident as we break stereotypes and as we break norms. And transparency will always matter at the end of everything. And you know what keeps me going until now is a word called universe, where for me, uni means one and verse means song, and I wish and I hope that we will all sing one song.
Thank you, Mr. Napoles. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Sherifer J. Santiago. Your time starts now.
What's up, people? It's me, Sherifer Santiago, aka Charity, and I am in the running for Assistant Secretary General. I have 3 platforms that I would like to discuss with you all, so keep close attention, okay? I would like to introduce my first platform, Lodestar. I know most of us are still adjusting to online school, so I am proposing a program wherein all of us can guide one another and help those who are having trouble in their academics. This platform gives each and every one of us the chance to be a beacon of light, to guide each other to where we need to go. The next platform that I would like to introduce is the Mental Health Week. Yes, guys, I really empathize with you, all of you, who are going through mental and emotional trials in life, heightened only by the isolation caused by the pandemic. So I am endorsing Mental Health Week, which I propose should be held after each semester, when all academics are done, in order for all of us to get the moment of reflection and to do what we have to do for us to be recharged and ready for the next semester. In addition to my previous platform, I would like to propose the Peer Facilitator Program. I envision this program will allow students to go through the school year just a little bit more smoothly, through a system which allows us to provide mental and emotional support to our peers. So remember, guys, Charifer, para grado, sagad.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Santiago. Now, Your question in the impromptu section is, as for your advocacy on Mental Health Week every semester, what are your plans in implementing it? Or will you repeat the same process or activities for both semesters? Again, as for your advocacy on Mental Health Week every semester, what are your plans in implementing it? Or will you repeat the same process or activities for both semesters? Your timer starts now.
So regarding my advocacy on Mental Health Week, I am proposing to have no required activities for the students during this time, as the sole purpose of the week is for the students to rest and relax. It's easy for us to get lost, especially with everything going on in our lives, be it school, the pandemic, our social interactions, and other things that might dampen our ability to connect with oneself, aka our mental health. That's why I believe it is permanent for all students to take a break, and hopefully within a week, we'll all be able to bounce back and be ready for the next semester of learning.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Michael Claude A. Venera. Your time starts now.
Hey Ateneans, my name is Michael Claude A. Venera, aspiring to be your new Assistant Secretary General. I have a total of 4 platforms that I would love to implement if ever you guys would choose to let me occupy this position. Number 1 is Mental Health Prioritization Program, aims to prioritize the mental health of the students with programs like webinars on how to deal with and improve your mental health, and anonymous one-on-one sessions with the school counselors. Number 2 is Eco Voices for Everyone. This will give all the students a voice to practice their freedom of speech through Google Forms, where they can voice out their concerns and questions anonymously. Number 3 is No Atenistas Left Behind, which aims to not leave any Atenistas behind through projects like Save by the Notes program and Lahat Tayo Mag-Move On program that will help the students by giving them notes and free tutorials. While the PASG fundraiser program creates fundraising events where the funds raised will be used for charity works and future events. Lastly, Atenista, United 1, aims to unify all the students through various programs and activities, which are the triple C's, Connect Ko, Connect Ka, Connect Tayo, where we will create a Discord server for all the Atenistas to freely interact with your friends or meet new ones while interacting with others. And the ADU Senior High School Year-End Festival will be an event to give the students a fun and exciting night that they will never forget. Hopefully with this, we can lessen the effects of the pandemic fatigue and instead have a more enjoyable, memorable school year. Thank you.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Venera. Your question for the impromptu section is, all of your platforms involve student participation. If given the chance to talk to each student, especially those who are apathetic and uninterested, what would you like to tell them? Again, all of your platforms involve student participation. If given the chance to talk to each student, especially those who are apathetic and uninterested, what would you like to tell them? Your timer starts now.
Thank you for that wonderful question. I think if I were given a chance to talk to each student, especially those who are apathetic and uninterested, I would say please don't give up. Just hold on. It may be just one sentence, but it holds a deep meaning to it. Especially now we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I know everyone is struggling in a way and would really like to hear that from someone. That's mainly the point as to why I have made all my platforms requiring the students' participation to at least give them a bit of fun and excitement. I hope that with my platforms and programs that we can, as I said on my speech, have a more enjoyable and memorable year, even though we're in the middle of a crisis. That's all, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Venera. Now that all our candidates for Assistant Secretary General are finished, they can now proceed in giving out their final statements. First, we have Ms. Arellano. Your 15 seconds starts now.
What is leadership? Simply put, leadership is inspiring influence. It's the ability to light a fire in people's hearts and minds. By Charles R. Swinton. Again, I'm Caris Arellano, running for Assistant Secretary General, and I thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Cole. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Kailangan matapat. Kailangan makadiyos. Kailangan masipag. Si Kayla ang kailangan. Kayla Cole na yan for Assistant Secretary General.
Next, we have Miss Melo Diaz. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Vote me. Choose Atenea, your online buddy, to help you in your school activities. I am Kids Melodias, running for the position of Assistant Secretary General with the motto of teach them for the best and guide them if they worst. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Napoles. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Please remember my name. I am Xavier Yo from Ateneo. This semana akong naong kay together, we will bridge the gap between the school and the students. So again, I am Xavier, your sword and savior.
Next, we have Miss Santiago. Your 15 seconds starts now.
To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. Vote for Charifer. Para grado, sagad.
Lastly, we have Mr. Veneral. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Ikaw, ako, tayo ang boss ng bukas. Help me as I advocate equality, transparency, unity, respect for human dignity and freedom of speech. Kaya't anong hinihintay mo pa? Iboto na si Michael Claude A. Venerao para sa Assistant Secretary General dahil basta't kay Michael, maiboses ka.
And that concludes our segment for the candidates for Assistant Secretary General. I believe we can now proceed to the candidates for Auditor. Please welcome Miss Eliza Kella L. Abgelina. A virtual round of applause, please. Miss Abgelina, your timer starts now.
Warren Bennis said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. For you, what is leadership? Hi, I am Eliza Kella Abgelina, a grade 11 ABM student from Section Hernandez and running for the position of auditor. Before anything else, allow me to give a brief history about myself. Actually, being part of the student body is not new to me because I was an officer from my previous school Supreme Student Government for 3 consecutive years. And based on my experience, dedication, perseverance, courage, and time management are the skills that you must possess to become an effective student leader. Going back, I promote these advocacies. Namely, number 1 is the No Student Left Behind advocacy, which simply means that we're all in this together amidst pandemic, we will have each other's back. Second is the youth empowerment advocacy because I still firmly believe of Dr. Rosario Rizal's statement, ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Therefore, we should start molding the future right now. And lastly is the equal human rights advocacy where it aims to empower, educate every person and every Ateneans that you have the very right to be in this world. You yourself is a masterpiece. I am ending this speech with a statement. Begin the change you wish to see in this world, and it starts from within.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Abgelina. Now, your question for this impromptu segment is, in your advocacies, you mentioned youth empowerment and equal human rights. How will you implement these, given the online context, and how will you ensure that it is being practiced by the learner's body? Again, in your advocacies, you mentioned youth empowerment and equal human rights. How will you implement these, given the online context, and how will you ensure that it is being practiced by the learner's body? Your timer starts now.
The main hindrance in implementing advocacies and platforms is a new setup, where everything is held virtually and in online context. But if there's a will, there's a way. Therefore, we can still impose my advocacies. Through what? Through live streams, podcasts, and even live Zoom meetings and Google Meets, so that we can still mold every Atenista to empower each other to become sui generis leaders of the future. And with that, we will grab the chance to reach out to our schoolmates and apply the No Student Left Behind advocacy. to remind every Atenista that kapit-bisig tayong lalaban hanggang sa dulo. Well, one thing's for sure, we cannot control everything, but at least along the way, we know how to respond and react. And that is the goal.
Thank you, Miss Abgelina. Next off, may we call on Kyle Angelo BNU. Kindly present yourself. Your timer starts now.
Good day to you all, Ateneo de Davao Senior High School. I am Kim New, running for the position of auditor. Now before anything else, I would like to say that I know this pandemic has been really hard for us. Meeting the demands of our online classes and adjusting to the do's and don'ts of the pandemic has been a real challenge for us. Don't you all agree? However, amidst all of these challenges, I want you to know that I am always with you, not above nor below, but together with all of you, as we tackle this school year and its challenges together, and make it as fun, memorable, and happy for all of us as possible. And I have 3 programs that aim to do just that. The first being the Intrams program, which aims to promote fun and camaraderie amongst our community through games such as Valorant, COD, Mobile Legends, Genshin Impact, Among Us, Minecraft, and many more, and anime and film watch parties. The second program is the Atras Muna Atenista, which is a program that encourages us to take a step back and take care of ourselves and our mental health. And this will be done through a variety of methods, such as webinars for meditation and yoga, and posts on how to take care of ourselves better. And the last program is the Ateneo de Davao Senior High School Personal Study Notes and Lecture Notes Cloud Track, which will enable us to share our own lecture notes and view the lecture notes of other students so that we may all benefit for our academic.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. New. Your question for the impromptu section is, based on your platforms, you have the ASHS Study and Lecture Notes Cloud Drive. Are you confident enough that this will be beneficial for the entire learner body? What difference does it make from the lecture notes present in the courseware that can easily be accessed by the students as well? Again, based on your platforms, you have the ASHS Study and Lecture Notes Cloud Drive. Are you confident enough that this will be beneficial for the entire learner body? What difference does it make from the lecture notes present in the courseware that can easily be accessed by the students as well? Your timer starts now.
Thank you for that wonderful and insightful question. To answer it, yes, I believe that the ADU SHS Personal Study and Lecture Notes Cloud Drive program of mine will be beneficial to the students. And what makes it different from the Hurtado, the OLS that we have right now, is that in Hurtado, the lesson plan and the courseware is made by teachers. And as with all things, we might not be able to understand the interpretation of people on what they want us to learn right away. And so that is what my program is for. Since students know their fellow students better than any other kind of person, it would make sense that this program would be beneficial to them because they can present their notes and word things in a way that will most likely get across to the students and make the students understand the lesson better because they know the context of where students might have a hard time understanding certain topics.
Thank you for that, Mr. New. Now may we have Josh Robert D. Obao. Take the stage. Your timer starts now.
Hello everyone, I am Josh Robert Obao, running for the position of auditor. The reason why I run for this position because I want to lead our fellow Ateneans by a good example. As an auditor aspirant, I want to discuss my 3 main advocacies. Number 1, I am for transparency. I want every auditing process to undergo a proper process so that our organization will be financially secured. Number 2, I am for self-resiliency. I believe that self-resiliency is the backbone of student government. And lastly, for number 3, I am for academic freedom. Since elections 2022 is fast approaching, let us discuss the issues of our society and make up a solution so that we can help our society and our people. Once again, I am Josh Robert Wab, running for auditor.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Abao. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: you have transparency, self-resiliency, and academic freedom as your platforms. Can you walk us through the specific activity, project you wish to implement on every platform you have? Again, you have transparency, self-resiliency, and academic freedom as your platforms. Can you walk us through the specific activity, projects you wish to implement on every platform you have? Your timer starts now.
Okay, so for transparency, I believe that every auditing process must undergo a transparent process, because I believe if an auditing is transparent, then it is ensured that our organization is financially secured. And then, if it is financially secured, then the government can be able to lead its people. So for number 2, self-resiliency, I believe that it should be a backbone of our work, because if there's no self-resiliency, then our government will not be able to lead. So for number 3, lastly, this is really important, academic freedom. Since elections 2022 is fast approaching, we need to realize that we should discuss these issues because we are affected by it. But it doesn't mean we should hate the government or etc., but rather we should help each other. And that's it for my response.
Thank you for that, Mr. Abao. With that, we can now proceed in giving out their final statements. First, we have Miss Abgelina. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Again, I am Eliza Kela Abgelina, an auditor aspirant that believes in the statement, "The world needs you. Seek, speak, and conquer. Begin the change you want to see in the world, and it starts from within."
Next, we have Mr. Yu. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Thank you so much once again, Ateneo, and remember that I'm always with you and that I love you all so very much. And know that I'll stand by you, so vote for Kim New. Kim New for Auditor, signing out.
Lastly, we have Mr. Abao. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Since I am new here, I believe that every outsider can make a difference. And that is for my final statement as an auditor aspirant.
So without further ado, here are the first set of candidates who are running for the position of Grade 11 Representative. Please welcome Neil Brian A. Belonio. A virtual round of applause, please. Mr. Belonio, your timer starts now.
Be a game changer. The world is already full of players. I'm Belonio Neil Brian A., aspiring grade 11 representative, and here are my plans and platforms for this academic year. First, issue lusyonan. Issue nyo ay ating solusyonan. We can't avoid students having questions and worries about academic and non-academic matters. This platform will assist them with these issues. This will make an amendment requiring that monthly concerns forms will be regulated. Second, K-pop, kalusugang pangkaisipan, ating pangalagaan. Introduce and campaign more about the mental health first aid. This platform seeks to improve students' mental health and preserve positivism so that they can concentrate on their studies. Third, Pusong Atenista. Pusong Atenista uses GCash, bank transfer, and other money transfer channel to raise funds. The goal of this event is to assist and support non-governmental and non-profit groups here in Davao City. Leadership is never a venue to be self-serving, but a platform to render service to the people. Belonio Brian A. for grade 11 representative.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Belonio. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: in your advocacy on Pusong Atenista that aims to raise funds in assisting non-profit and non-governmental organizations in Davao, how will you ensure that it will last in the ADU SHS community for the next few years? Again, in your advocacy on Pusong Atenista that aims to raise funds in assisting non-profit and non-governmental organizations in Davao, how will you ensure that it will last in the ADU SHS community for the next few years? Your timer starts now.
Senior high school, 2 years, and after that a new set of officers will be elected. They will have their new platforms and make new decisions, make new changes which we will not be able to control. And when the time comes, I believe that my project, which is the Pusong Atenista, will still remain because it has a great purpose to help the non-governmental and non-profit group of Davao City. And I can assure all of you that this platform will remain and will exist in the next years because if I will win, I will not waste my time in creating servants, but rather creating more leaders. I will inspire all of them and continue making a difference in their community, in helping their community. Because I believe that Ateneans are compassionate. We are community-oriented citizens. And anyone, anywhere, we Ateneans can make a big and positive difference.
Thank you, Mr. Belonio. Next off, may we call on Natasha Bernice Kutan. Kindly present yourself. Your timer starts now.
A Matches Day to everyone. This is your leader next door, Natasha Kutan, running for the position of Grade 11 representative. Think of me as a new neighbor moving in. You heard a knock on your door, and there I am with my I just moved in gifts. In my basket, I offer to you the Friday system. Every Friday, there will be 2 to 3 movies to be streamed and you'll choose what movie to watch. You get to chill and relax after a tiring week and also bond and make friends with batchmates amidst coping with the stresses due to the pandemic and online class. Next is the Cupid Mail, the bliss and curiosity after receiving a love letter from an admirer or thoughtful messages from friends. That is what the Cupid Mail aims to bring back, but this time through emails. From dreading to look at any mail to getting excited and actually opening one. And P.S. You get to be anonymous. Or not, if you're brave enough. Lastly, Adulting 101 webinars. Most of us are already 16 to 17 years old, a year or two closer to being of legal age. In Adulting 101, you'll learn tips and advices on certain topics such as how to get a driver's license, national ID, clearances and certificates, and more. These things are usually not taught in school. Thus, with webinars such as this, you'd be prepared and ready for the future. Well, will you accept my gifts? I hope you do. Again, I'm Natasha Kutan, leader next door, running for Grade 11 representative.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Kutan. Your question for the impromptu section is, how certain are you that Friday will continuously be conducted every Friday? What will you do if no students show up due to their busy schedules? Again, how certain are you that Friday will continuously be conducted every Friday? What will you do if no students show up due to their busy schedules? Your time starts now.
So before running, I have already prepared myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Thus, if I become the Grade 11 representative and a sui generis leader at that, I am tasked with that responsibility and should uphold my promises. Thus, I should see to it that Friday will be conducted every Friday. As for the question that what if no students show up due to their busy schedules, I should be able to communicate and convince the batch that it is okay to give yourself a break, even an hour or two just for one movie, especially on a Friday, on a formation day. No harm will be done in your activities or your responsibilities if you take a break for your well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Kutan. Now may we have Athena, Ezekiel B. Dablo, take on the stage. Your time starts now.
What a good day, Ateneans. I am Athena Ezekiel Dablo, an aspirant Grade 11 representative. I'm confident that I can execute and perform my duties more than well because I am an experienced student in this field already. To support the students, as your grade 11 representative, my advocacies and platforms are first, conceptualize and implement programs that aids help grade 11 students with difficulties or struggling in low self-esteem, breakdowns, academic burnout, and other issues to assuage their emotions. Second is to popularize the importance of mental health. And last but not the least, start a weekly reward system for grade 11 students and teachers verbally. As you can hear on my first and second advocacy, it is more focused on students' mental health as this is crucial for us, knowing that we're amid the pandemic and personally don't have our support system with us. We could start by having orientation, open forums, or meetings. Students are vulnerable and they need leaders whom they can freely rely on at any time. And I know in myself that I am that leader. For my last platform, it is the ones that we are fond of receiving before the rewards. Acknowledgements for our efforts, doing our best, and hard work. The difference is that we will just be receiving it verbally. I initiated this because I want us to feel appreciated and of course to congratulate you for doing your best.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Dablo. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: you are planning to start a weekly reward system for grade 11 learners and teachers virtually. What specific reward are you planning to give them, and who will facilitate the said event? Again, you are planning to start a weekly reward system for grade 11 learners and teachers virtually. What specific reward are you planning to give them, and who will facilitate the said event? Your timer starts now.
Yes, that's correct. When we are still in a face-to-face setup, we are fond of getting rewards such as certificates, recognitions, or even medals. But now we're amid a pandemic and we are currently in online classes, we don't get that much recognition or acknowledgement for our efforts and hard works. I have a bunch of ideas actually. I'll be sharing with you some only of my rewards. I am planning to give certificates of recognition, medals, handwritten letters, or even a song or poem. Whatever the students prefer actually, for them to be entertained at least, or may light up their week or day. I want them to get inspired. As for the facilitators, I'll be asking for the guidance of each section's class presidents. In this way, I'll be able to monitor the names of their classmates and their respective advisors or teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nablo. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Lara Crisel M. Feliscoso. Your time starts now.
Maayong adlaw, Ateneans! I am Lara Crisel Feliscoso, an aspiring grade 11 representative. With my advocacies and platforms, I seek to have ideas who influence and empower everyone for the greater good. First, Avance, Atenista. Pagpaminaw or to listen is an enhanced help or grievance desk for my fellow grade 11 learners through different social media platforms and to establish a smooth connection from the student tree to pulso. Pagdasig or to inspire and encourage is to raise mental health awareness and to break the stigma by encouragement posts and genuine social interaction within one another. Next, Magi setup. Pagtambayayong or to collaborate within a Magi society is a leadership team building through online meets to empower one another, which aims to eliminate strand discrimination. Pagtambag or to instill is an advocacy to instill cura personalis to the learners, be men and women for others. Lastly, Kugihan na Atenean, Abtik na Mindanawan. Panaghiusa or unity is to cultivate the Ignatian values, Filipino traits, and the 6 C's among the student body. Paghigugma or love. This is to develop love for our rich and abundant culture in Mindanao and to be an Atenean who has a vision for our country. Gahot na pamaagi, sigurado kay Larcy Feliscoso for grade 11 representative.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Feliscoso. Your question for the impromptu section is, with 6 advocacies in mind, if ever elected, which do you think is the most important one and needs urgency, and why? Again, with 6 advocacies in mind, if ever elected, which do you think is the most important one and needs urgency, and why? Your time starts now.
My objective is to amplify more than 1,000 voices of ADU's grade 11 learners and be the one who stands for and with them. I believe all my platforms are important, and to answer the question which one needs urgency is the Abante Atenista, which has pagpaminaw and pagdasig. In a difficult setup like this, communication and mental health play a vital role. This platform aims to establish a relation from the students to PUSO and to listen and take immediate action about the concerns raised. Breaking the stigma is a movement I am passionate about. Mental health awareness is a must for us students, and this will encourage everyone to take part. Through various social media outlets, this platform will help us build a connection and deeper understanding within one another despite the online setup. Let us have one vision for our batch, to aspire to inspire through our voices. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Velascoso. Now on to our next candidate, Gabriel M. Flaviano. Take the stage. Your timer starts now.
What's up, Atenistas? Your naglalagablab na grade 11 representative is here. I am Gabriel Flaviano, your grade 11 representative aspirant. Through my platforms, your voices will be heard, talents will be seen, and as a plus, you will be able to gain a friend. But what are my platforms? 1. Talent mo, i-flex mo. This is an end-of-semester program where each group and club will perform for the ADU SHS community to exhibit their greatest projects and performances, serving as an avenue for students to become more confident and active in participating in their clubs. 2. Ateneo Pod, an open and entertaining podcast wherein topics such as mental health, spiritual growth, how to deal with the pandemics, and the likes will be discussed. Hey, we may even discuss about your favorite movies, games, K-dramas, K-pop groups, or anything under the sun. 3. Gain a Buddy. To reduce the stress of online fatigue, Gain a Buddy is a Zoom call wherein anyone can enter and study together to learn in a collaborative and supportive environment. The exciting part? Monthly games will be conducted wherein you can get the chance to win prizes such as Steam Wallet, GCash, or Load. Once again, I am Gabriel Flaviano, your naglalagablab na grade 11 representative, ang iyong kalingkod, kaibigan at gabay mula araw hanggang gabi.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Flaviano. Now, your question for the impromptu section is, you mentioned that you want to conduct monthly games with chances to win prizes like Steam Wallet, GCash, and Load. If ever elected, how and where will you get the funds for these prizes given the online context? Again, you mentioned that you wanted to conduct monthly games with chances to win prizes like Steam Wallet, GCash, and Load. If ever elected, how and where will you get the funds for these prizes given the online context? Your timer starts now.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually a wonderful question. That's a great question. And I haven't thought about that question. Yeah. I actually agree with you that gathering funds, especially in this online setup that we are in, it is difficult. It really is difficult to gather funds. But we have committees present such as the sponsorship committee who can provide material and financial assistance to any of Pulsong Atenistas events or programs who need additional funding. But if they aren't able to provide financial assistance for my platform, then I myself, Gabriel Flaviano, will volunteer to sponsor for my own platform. Thank you for that wonderful question and have a nice day.
Thank you for that, Ms. Flaviano. Now on to our next candidate, may we call on DNA A. Baculaba. Your timer starts now.
Are you one of those students who feels na parang it's really hard to adjust? or you don't know anyone yet to share and talk your feelings with? Well, don't you worry, cause I got you covered. I am GNA Pakulaba from Section OTA, an aspiring student for the position of Grade 11 representative. Aside from being the Grade 9 and Grade 10 representative way back in my junior high school, it is my willingness to serve and lead my fellow students. And with that, let me introduce to you my platforms. The Atenean Online Kamustahan is a drive to connect and make a steady communication and involvement between the grade 11 students. This online kamustahan will be done monthly through online live streaming. The essence of this platform is for us learners to be able to connect and share insights and matters through online. In this platform, we will discuss relevant topics like embarking on a new journey the Atenean life, achieving the 6 C's, and more that will benefit us students. Cultivating positive attitudes and values in the new normal. This platform is for those students who deals with anxiety, stress, depression, more specifically brought by our academics. So in behalf of those students who are afraid to speak about the situation, I will be the voice that will make difference in my own little way. Once again, I am GNA Pakulaba for Grade 11 representative. I will not be your type, nagugulatin kayo, but I will be your Rexona because I won't let you down.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Pakulaba. Your question for the impromptu section is, Atenean Online Kamustahan aims to connect and make a steady connection between the grade 11 learners. What attributes do you have that will allow the others to pay attention to you, allowing the platform to function effectively? Again, Atenean Online Kamustahan aims to connect and make a steady connection between the grade 11 learners. What attributes do you have that will allow others to pay attention to you, allowing the platform to function effectively? Your timer starts now.
This position means to be the representative of my fellow grade 11 learners is to be the key communicator between my fellow learners and teachers. And with that, I do believe that I have this attribution that will help the functionality of my platform. I have the 3 Ds and 3 Cs. I have the determination, dedication, and drive to finish my responsibility and task with excellence. I am also committed, compassionate, and creative to come up with various plans that will help my fellow learners. And aside from that, I am also a good listener and will always be the voice for my fellow learners. I am also an optimist person and I always see situation with a silver lining. I also have the capability to work under pressure. I am always open and ready to take action. Once again, I am GNA Pakulaba for the position of Grade 11 representative.
Thank you, Ms. Pakulaba. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Nina Cassandra S. Venus. Your timer starts now.
Hello, I'm Nina Cassandra S. Venus, hoping to be your next Grade 11 batch representative. My goal is to create an open dialogue for students and to unite and cultivate as one Ateneo community. That is why here are my 3 platforms. Academics, why problema? Offering you manikamot ta. Here you can study together with your fellow batchmates through steady stream. And also we have task management, where classroom will send to-do lists, reminders to keep you on track using Google Keeps. All of your sign works are with you whenever you go. Non-academics, wag mag-alala, for you is here for you. Unlock your potential and why from academics tackle youth concerns and develop competence, confidence, and a sense of connectedness. Under these, first, are youth ready? It's a virtual gathering where students can be socially active to take action. Next, podcast and e-talks to curious mind. Adulting series and other e-topics for you and your curious mind. Waran Tunes. Let's connect through music. Share your playlist to other students to keep you company this school year. And we have hashtag Let's Unwind with mindfulness sessions. Lastly, we have Malaya Tenista, an online creative space where you can freely express concerns, messages, and where we can engage. Also, this will serve as a virtual helping desk. Thank you and good afternoon.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Venus. Now, your question for the impromptu section is, you have 4 youth for you. as your second platform, which entails having podcast or e-talks, The Curious Mind, Quarantunes, Mindful Session, and a virtual camp. How will you ensure that your batchmates will participate in these kinds of activities? Again, you have For Youth, For You as your second platform, which entails having podcast or e-talks, The Curious Mind, Quarantunes, Mindful Session, and a virtual camp. How will you ensure that your batchmates will participate in these kinds of activities? Your time starts now.
Thank you. To be a grade representative, I have to be effective. I have to be a clear communicator, transparent, and take action to get others involved. These platforms speak at the students' interest because when you know the interest of your schoolmates, there is an increase in engagement and participation. These activities were intended to be relevant, meaningful, and helpful for the students. Now, how can I ensure that they participate in this platform of mine? It's simple. I believe in dedication and consistency. To ensure that they participate in these activities, I have to communicate and connect with them. I have to get their feedback, disseminate information, and ensuring that there are participants checking each section with the class presidents. I need to be effective in informing and creative and encouraging, which is my duty. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Venus. With that, they can now proceed in giving out their final statements. First, we have Mr. Belonio. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Win or lose, I am already grateful because for me, I have achieved my goal, which is to inspire all of you through my different platforms. Ateneans, remember my name. Belonio Neil Brian A. for grade 11 representative.
Next, we have Miss Kudan. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Hey there! Remember my Gifts Friday, Cupid Mail, and Adulting 101 webinars. Remember Natasha Kutad na natatangi sa pwesto, aktibo sa serbisyo, at tunay na maglilingkod sa inyo. Halina't botohin si Nat, your leader next door.
Next, we have Miss Dablo. Your 15 seconds starts now.
If given a chance, aside from my duties, I would also be your friend and your great listener. Let me prove to you that I can, you can, and we can. I never lose. It's either I win or I learn. And so are you. Padayon, mga Atenistas.
Next, we have Miss Pelescoso. Your 15 seconds starts now.
A grade level representative does not only represent a batch, its role is to be the key communicator within the institution. I'm not here just to be your voice. I believe all of our voices are relevant and I am here to amplify them.
Next, we have Miss Flaviano. Your 15 seconds starts now.
If I will be your next grade 11 representative, I promise you a school year like no other. So vote for me, your naglalagablab na Gab Flaviano. Thank you and have a good day.
Next, we have Miss Pakulaba. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Leadership is an action, not a position. Yan Pakulaba, once again for the position of grade 11 representative. Nganong mabala ka kung nasi Pakulaba, kay kung Pakulaba, siguradong walay palya.
Lastly, we have Miss Venus. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Alina dirita kay ninyo, wala nang iba. Avance to Earth, this is for you, dahil malaya katinista, tara, maningkamot ta. Building competence to become confident because you are empowered.
So without further ado, here are the first set of candidates who are running for the position of Grade 12 Representative. Please welcome Danica May T. Cañeda. A virtual round of applause, please. Miss Cañeda, your timer starts now.
Good day, everyone. I am Danica May Cañeda from Grade 12 Purview of the ABM Strand. Today, I will be discussing my 3 platforms. First, the College and Adulting Series 101 that aims to help us future graduates to track down which school has opened their admissions and the requirements needed to pass on time. Also in Adulting series, it will be a series of webinars that will tackle how to be a responsible citizen in our country, like being an educated voter, getting valid IDs, and properly budgeting money. We will also tackle pressing issues to raise awareness and for us to face these issues headstrong. Second, the career guidance. What makes us feel the pressure, excitement, nervousness? It is no other than the pressure of not knowing the career that we will take. And this platform aims to help different strands have a background on the courses and jobs that we will get. Lastly, the peer tutorials is inspired by the peer tutorials last year. As someone who has been part of this program, it is undeniable that it really does help other students to learn topics or subjects they haven't fully understood. Also, the notes and tips from mentors are helpful to the students. All of these platforms aim to let everyone feel that this is their safe space. They can grow here as a person and know what it truly means to be men and women for others.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Cañeda. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: in the past year, you also ran for the position of Assistant Secretary General, with Magis as your advocacy, which focuses on the rights of every Atenean. But now, with 3 advocacies, namely College and Adulting Series 101, Career Guidance, and Peer Tutorial, what made you exclude Magis? And if ever elected, will you still apply this and those 3 advocacies? How? Again, in the past year, you also ran for the position of Assistant Secretary General, with Magis as your advocacy, which focuses on the rights of every Atenean. But now, with 3 advocacies, namely College and Adulting Series 101, Career Guidance, and Peer Tutorial, what made you exclude Magis? And if by any chance elected, will you still apply this and those 3 advocacies? How? Your timer starts now.
First, Magis stands for Molding Advocates for Greater Institutional Service, and it does focus on every right of Ateneans. At the same time, it aims to help Ateneans be an advocate on something they are passionate about, and these 3 advocacies are actually inspired by Magis advocacy, but with platforms that are apparently specified for certain agendas, travel, or even careers a student may have. And it can be utilized throughout their academic journey in senior high school.
Thank you, Ms. Caneda. Next off, may we call on Kimi Isabel P. Herrera. Your time starts now.
Hello, my fellow Ateneans. I am Kim Isabel Herrera, a greater representative aspirant, and I present to you my platforms. My first platform is a mental health check. My platform circulates around mental health and all of its aspects. My platform also advocates that there will be no students left unheard or unseen, especially that we are still in an online setting. My second platform would be the Community Party, which is inspired by our face-to-face experience. The primary purpose of this platform was to encourage and empower each other in the field of our academics and build a much more interactive community. Both my platforms focus on building an interactive community who has each other as a support system, not letting one student be unheard.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Herrera. Your question for the impromptu section is: you want to advocate about mental health. Do you really understand what it is? Do you think that the learners will benefit from your mental health check platform that you wish to implement? Again, you want to advocate about mental health. Do you really understand what it is? Do you think that the learners will benefit from your mental health check platform that you wish to implement? Your time starts now.
Magis Day Ateneans, I am Kim Isabel Herrera, a grade 12 representative aspirant, and here's my take on mental health. Mental health is the aspect of health which includes our psychological, emotional, and social well-being. With that being said, I believe that the state of our mental health partakes a huge role in our daily lives. My platform, Mental Health Check, advocates the wellness of mental health of each student. My platform advocates that there will be no student left unheard or unseen, especially that we are still staying in an online platform. My platform circulates around mental health and all of its aspects, and I believe that each learner will benefit from my platform, as we are creating a community that has each other as a supporting system.
Thank you, Miss Herrera. Now may we have Christian Ron D. Nograles take on the stage. Your time starts now.
Hi everyone, I'm Christian Ron D. Nograles from Grade 12 Humes of Section Bryan, running for Grade 12 representative for this year's batch. To transcend right in my platform, I kept in mind that we kept facing adversities, and it's just the start of the school year. Hearing and seeing people say in various forms of social media is that if someone could help us explain the lessons further, if someone could help us have access to the lecture notes, and if we need or find friends to go with our learnings so that it would be fun and interactive. All keeping in mind that some of these happen after class, where we are still learning for our upcoming lessons. With the platform Unity Amidst Adversity, we can maximize our use of our ADO accounts by uploading all available learning content to us learners and upload them into a unified drive where we can access them and see the available materials. To have it fun and interactive, we can use and maximize the newly launched ADO Senior High School Discord server. With easy setups, we can hop in a channel and ask available people in study rooms to help us with the lesson. Or we can go with our friends together and have a learning session. With all this, it can at least ease our minds and remind us that we can survive our final year in senior high school.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Nograles. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: can you tell us more about your advocacy, Huling Eksena? What activities will you conduct for this advocacy? And how sure are you that this will be beneficial for our grade 12 learners? Again, can you tell us more about your advocacy, Huling Eksena? What activities will you conduct for this advocacy? And how sure are you that this will be beneficial for our grade 12 learners? Your timer starts now.
Knowing that we are still students who want to have a memorable school year, we want to experience a blast for the final months of being a senior high school student. My ideas for the activities of Huling Eksena is having us students interact with each other, because we know it's hard because of an online setting and with some restrictions. Maybe we can do this during our Ignite or Fiestas. We can leave a day or time slot open for people to talk about their common interests and let them talk with each other for the whole day or for the whole duration or the available period. And we can have the chance of picture taking for our mementos and keepsakes. And finally, when we look back and we see these days, maybe we can say that maybe I did enjoy my senior high school life.
Thank you, Mr. Nograles. With that, they can now proceed in giving out their final statements. First, we have Miss Cañeda. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Again, all of these platforms aim to let everyone feel that this is their safe space. They can grow here as a person and know what it truly means to be men and women for themselves and for others. Halika na with Danica, #Arcada with Cañeda.
Next, we have Miss Herrera. Your 15 seconds starts now.
One of the principles I live by is that you have to realize that your ability to care for someone is one of your greatest assets. I am King Isabel Herrera, a grade 12 representative aspirant, and I care for you.
Finally, we have Mr. Nograles. Your 15 seconds starts now.
With all that said, once again, I am Christian Ron D. Nograles, running for grade 12 representative, saying please take care of yourself, because together let's search for the best interest, and together we won't settle for less.
So without further ado, let us welcome the first set of candidates who are running for the position of Cluster Representative. Please welcome Laurel O. Dequila. A virtual round of applause, please. Miss Dequila, your time starts now.
Majesty Day to each and everyone. Standing virtually before you is a grade 12 STEM pre-engineering and architecture student under section Loyola. She is a friend, she is a leader, she is Laurel Odekila. My platform focuses on education, reproductive health, and mental health, and has one common goal, and that is for the betterment of the youth. In a democratic country lies vast opportunities and the probability of advancement. Even with the right and promise to proper education, many are still underprivileged. So my one big fight for Educalidad is a call and fight for everyone to contribute and serve as a ladder towards societal cultivation, no child left behind. As a developing country, the population increase is directly proportional to the increase in poverty rate. This time is the perfect moment to commence upland reproductive. Although the youth talks and sex education in general, our mission is to lessen the rapidly rising population as well as reduce the risk of STDs at the same time. Mental health is just as important as physical health. It chooses no gender, no status quo, and no age. With the mission of extending a hand to others, we'll stand against the stigma that surrounds mental health. With Dagdag Dunong bilang tulong, mental health games, consultations, and proper guidance, we can help support everybody. Again, my platforms are here to help support us, the youth. With what has been said, these advocacies are close to my heart, given the fact that it also exhibits my own experience.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Dequila. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: what is your exact plan of action for your One Big Fight for Educalidad platform? And are you certain that it will benefit the learners under your cluster? Again, what is your exact plan of action for your One Big Fight for Educalidad platform? And are you certain that it will benefit the learners under your cluster? Your timer starts now.
Leaders are expected to be mindful on their undertakings. Thinking critically will lessen the inevitable shortage of resources and scarcity of ideas on the other hand. As a leader, connecting to other people with the same cause as yours will truly strengthen the foundation of a certain project. With that, my exact and irrevocable action plan for carrying my One Big Fight for Educalidad is to connect with the organization who has the manpower, the profound stand, and most importantly, the sincerest charity for the so-called education for all. This is not being an opportunist on the privilege that those assemblages have. Rather, this is all about solidarity hereafter. Two or more hands are better than one, as they say. More people being involved leads to a greater chance of succeeding. After all, when it is for the sake of our youth, we set aside our differences and forget our misunderstandings, and translate our weakness into an enormous strength, because one step at a time will send every child to school as long as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dequila. Now may we have Raj Lai Angela M. Huertas. Take the stage. Your timer starts now.
Good day, Ateneans. I am Rajlal Angela Huertas, your aspiring Jerusalem cluster representative. And warning lang, kanya ako, so heads up dyan ha. So moving on, I will be sharing with you my 4 platforms, which as a whole stands for STAG. So CARPS as in carpet, carpet as in rug. RUG na ba mga Jerry Stags, those and theys? This platform aims to bring each student in the cluster closer together through synchronous bonding activities which will range from social nights, game nights, movie nights, and many more that may take place in means such as Zoom, Gmeet, or a Discord server. My second platform is TBH, like to be honest. Sim mga pare, this platform aims to achieve heart-to-heart sessions with learners who have difficulties that they can't seem to share with their teachers through implementing student peer counselors. The third is AKO, During the pandemic, mental health has been critically affected. With the ACO platform, this aims to improve learners' well-being by fostering self-love and self-care among the students. And lastly, go, go, go! Murufa May Yarn! This platform utilizes the talents of each learner to form cluster workshops and cluster advocacies, which will not only promote cluster camaraderie, but also the growth of sui generis leadership. I hope we would be able to embark on a memorable and lingao journey this school year. Again, I am Rajla Angela Huertas, your aspiring Jeru Cluster Rep.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Huertas. Now, your question for the impromptu section is, as a cluster representative, what will be your move to unite your cluster as a team? Again, as a cluster representative, what will be your move to unite your cluster as a team? Your timer starts now.
Openness. As a cluster representative, I am ready to consider new ideas, see things as they are, and how they could be in our school. With the diversity that our senior high school carries within each of its students, an open mind is essential to establishing new relationships with the learners and connect with them. As cluster rep, I hope not only to embody this openness, but also inspire it in each one of my cluster members. That, as I have mentioned earlier, since our community is so diverse, there will truly be a friend for each one of us. We shouldn't let our differences define us and prevent us in reaching out to other people. Remember this, there are no strangers here, only friends you haven't met yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Huertas. Now on to our next candidate. May we call on Royce and Kate and Dallas from the Manresa cluster. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, Ateneo, and good afternoon, Vipers. I am Rasheen Kate Dallas of Grade 12 Bryant from the Hume Strand. I know my name's a bit tricky, so you can just call me RK. And I am your aspiring Manresa cluster representative. Under my leadership, lots of exciting plans are coming your way this school year. First on the list, ILY. Well, it's not exactly what you might have in mind right now. It actually stands for I Leader You, where I aim to empower Vipers to become sui generis leaders through webinars and workshops. Next up, we have Advokasya sa Pandemya, where we reach out to experts, advocates, and organizations in order to address the current issues in our communities. Lastly, I present to you Pakiglambigit 2021. This is to continue the cluster tradition of online get-togethers and fun games, where you have the chance to win amazing prizes. So as you can see, kay Deles ang serbisyo ay limitless. Not only are we going for gold as a cluster, but it is also our goal to empower ourselves, to serve our community, and of course, to have fun. Hopefully, you'll allow me to embark on this journey with you.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Nellis. Your question for the impromptu section is, all of your platforms require you to collaborate and plan events with your cluster members. What will you do if there are any disagreements along the way? Again, all of your platforms require you to collaborate and plan events with your cluster members. What will you do if there are any disagreements along the way? Your time starts now.
I believe team disagreements are inevitable and are bound to happen, really, because we're all entitled to our own opinions and we all have our own way of doing things. So whenever disagreements arise between, let's say, council members or other constituents, I'd want to arrange a formal meeting with the concerned parties. Because by listening to what everyone has to say, I get a clear view from each of their perspectives. Then we can discuss the pros and cons of each proposition, the reasoning behind each proposition, and finally, settle the conflict through a consensus, of course. And although it may seem like a tedious process, I do think that that kind of dialogue would help strengthen the cluster and indicate areas of improvement. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dallas. Now, may we have Jade Frances Margaret Novellero from the Montserrat cluster, take on the stage. Your timer starts now.
Good day, I am Jade Francis Morales Novellero and I am running for the position of Montserrat Cluster Representative. So under me are 3 different platforms. So first is Project Alpha. Project Alpha is panaghiusa. Panaghiusa literally means to unify. And in order to establish unity in the cluster, there must be team building activities that will spark the initiation, participation, and cooperation of every cluster member. Next is Project Beta. Project Beta is paglambo. Paglambo literally means to improve. And to improve, we must step out of our zones and create new bonds with different people that can help us build our character. Thus, there will be a collaboration of activities between different clusters, clubs, and organizations. This is to ensure that every cluster member will optimize their camaraderie, leadership, and transformation. So lastly is Project Delta. Project Delta is pagtinabangay. Pagtinabangay means to help or to lend a helping hand. This is to ensure and encourage everyone in the cluster to reach out to one another, whether it may be academic, cluster, or personal agendas or matter. This is to ensure that not only will we have a fun academic year, but also build a community of men and women for others.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Novellero. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: in your platforms, you mentioned Project Alpha, Project Beta, and Project Delta. If you had to compare or weigh off your platforms, which advocacy do you think needs implementation first, and why? Again, in your platforms, you mentioned Project Alpha, Project Beta, and Project Delta. If you had to compare or weigh off your platforms, which advocacy do you think needs implementation first, and why? Your timer starts now.
Yes, I have 3 main platforms, and if I have to compare or to weigh off my platforms, I definitely think that Project Alpha should be implemented first. To give you context, I've named my platforms after the rankings of wolves in a pack, and of course with these rankings, Project Alpha should come first because Project Alpha is panaghiusa, which is unity. And if unity is established in a group, in a pack, or in a cluster, there is teamwork and collaboration. And when there is teamwork and collaboration, courage will be strengthened and spirits will be lifted up. Thus, it will be a key component and an essential factor in achieving our goals, which are the following platforms, which are Project Beta, Pag Lambo, and Project Delta, which is Pag Tinabangay. Thus, when there is unity, there is always victory.
Thank you, Ms. Novellero. Now may we call on Francine Figari A. Haban from the Pamplona cluster. Take on the stage, your timer starts now.
Hi everyone, my name is Francine Figari Bea A. Haban, and I'm running for the position of your Pamplona cluster representative. My platform comes from the acronym FURIA, and are comprised of activities to help each learner grow into sui generis leaders. The F stands for Familia. Here, both grade levels will get to interact and build relationships with each other through intercluster events and activities so that by the end of the school year, Pamplona will not just be a cluster, but a family. The UNR stands for You Are Not Alone. This platform raises awareness towards mental health and vulnerable groups amidst the pandemic by holding weekly kamustahans and encourages cluster members to check on one another. The I is for Illuminate. Here, the learners will be given a chance to learn new talents and skills, as well as develop old ones by holding webinars, workshops, and contests. This gives everyone a chance to shine. The A is for Apple. No, I'm kidding, it's not. Care for a person or queer personalis is something we hear quite often, and what better way to practice it than with a collaboration? This last letter stands for advocacies. Here, the cluster will partner with various organizations to help raise awareness and provide aid for certain issues and or groups. So what are you waiting for? Are you ready to reign the azul skies? Because I am. Once again, I'm Francine Figaribea Haban, running for your Pamplona Cluster Representative. Basta Haban, ready nang lumaban!
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Haban. Your question for the impromptu section is, in your platform, you have an advocacy that focuses on mental health and weekly kamustahans. As a graduating student who has a lot of things in mind, and if by chance confronted by these mental health issues, how will you deal with it? Or how will you conduct this activity weekly if you yourself are experiencing these difficulties in life? Again, in your platform, you have an advocacy that focuses on mental health and weekly kamustahans. As a graduating student who has a lot of things in mind, and if by chance confronted by these mental health issues, how will you deal with it? Or how will you conduct this activity weekly if you yourself are experiencing these difficulties in life? Your timer starts now.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. Okay, now as a graduating student, I just have to say that my mind is indeed flooded with tons of things, academic and non-academic related. However, that shouldn't stop me from putting my mental health ahead of everything. As I tell everyone, self-love is the best love. Therefore, if I were to be in an emotional state, I would probably do something like my mood. Now, the point of the weekly kamustas is to check up on learners and make sure they're doing alright, and if possible, to help them with whatever it is they're going through. Now, if I were to be in a state where I couldn't conduct it myself, I would ask for twice as much help from the cluster council in conducting the said activity. Because after all, teamwork makes the dream work. And my problem shouldn't stop the cluster from coming together and, well, sharing whatever it is they're feeling.
Thank you, Ms. Haban. Now, may we have Angelica Claire B. Baricuatro from the Paris cluster. Take on the stage. Your timer starts now.
Laban, Sulo, Agila, Maayong Adlaw, Ateneo. My name is Angelica Claire B. Baricuatro, your aspiring Paris Cluster representative. Eagles are honed and flourished before they soar high beyond mountains and oceans. Hence, I have prepared 4 platforms named Nest, which will serve as the home to mold the Paris Eagles and help them expand their wings throughout the school year. First is the Naako Diria. This platform will serve as the health check and concern center of the learners under the cluster. There will be forms distributed monthly to each sections to check their current state and help them address their concerns. Second is the Igawas na ang Talentong Agila. As Ateneo will conduct several events throughout the school year, this advocacy aims to showcase and train the various talents of the cluster members. There will be several workshops and collaborations with the other clubs to help the cluster push them beyond their limits. Third is the Salo-Salo o Pagila-ila. This advocacy aims to conduct activities such as online kamustahan and esports tournaments which can help get to know the various strengths and personalities of the cluster members and use this information to build camaraderie throughout the school year. Last but not the least is the Tinabangay Gawa sa Ateneo. To prove that the Paris Eagles also soar high outside Ateneo, this advocacy aims to find beneficiaries, conduct charitable activities, and find charity groups outside the school because there is a need to lend a hand in these trying times. That is why, to my fellow Eagles, there is much more that I can offer if you will vote for me as your next cluster representative. That is all. Thank you.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Baricuatro. Now, your question for the impromptu section is, on one of your platforms, you have the Naako Diria that serves as the learner's health check and concern center under the cluster. Who will be in charge of assessing the responses on the Google Forms? Are you confident in that person's ability to keep all answers confidential and professional enough to meet the demands of the students who need help? Again, your question is, on one of your advocacies, you have the Naako Diria that serves as the learner's health check and concern center under the cluster. Who will be in charge of assessing the responses on the Google Forms? Are you confident in that person's ability to keep all answers confidential and professional enough to meet the demands of the students who need help? Your timer starts now.
One of the basic job description of being a class representative is to hear and address the concerns of his or her classmates. They are elected because they are deemed trustworthy and responsible of doing such jobs. That is why in this platform, they will be my bridge in where they will tally all the results and organize all the concerns of his or her classmates. After the tallying and organizing, they will give it to me as their cluster rep, and together with my executive secretary, we will make a narrative and summarized report about what are the concerns and what are the current state of the learners under my cluster. And after that, I will give it to the right person, such as to the PASG's students' rights and concerns, and as well as to their advisor and to the wellness center. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Baricuatro. Now may we call on Charles Andrew E. Ruiz from the Paris cluster. Take on the stage. Your timer starts now.
Magis morning, Ateneans. This is Charles Andrew Ruiz reporting and hoping to be part of your wings this school year. As the saying goes, birds of the same feather flock together. As one Paris, I have three goals for us to reach the highest height through maximum effort while being able to create nostalgic yet ecstatic memories together. My and hopefully our first step is for Paris to become a home to healthy relationships by conducting get-to-know activities wherein this focuses on giving you an opportunity to be able to introduce who you are to your fellow clustermates, like movie and kamustahan nights, and many more. Our next step would be to create a healthy and friendly competition within Paris and other homing clusters through competitive tournaments of the different esports events that we may conduct, such as Valorant, COD-M, ML, and Dota. Lastly, just like the red bandless of the Ateneans seal, I stand here now not someone up ahead of you, but someone you can speak to eye with. I wish to become Paris' symbol of overcoming such triumphs and unity despite diversity. And this is what I want my clustermates to remember me as: someone who had met you halfway, recognizing each and everyone's diversity and accommodating each and everyone's best interest by heart. With me, together, we will soar high and pierce through the norms. Lupad Charles Ruiz, Arriba Paris!
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Mr. Ruiz. Your question for the impromptu section is: on your third platform, Recognize, Reforge, Reconnect, what specific activity do you wish to implement? How can you reassure the students in your cluster that any gaps or differences will be bridged without causing conflict? Again, on your third platform, Recognize, Reforge, Reconnect, what specific activity do you wish to implement? How can you reassure the students in your cluster that any gaps or differences will be bridged without causing conflict? Your timer starts now.
I, for one, have experienced being isolated from a group of people for being different. You know the feeling of why do I not belong? As your future leader, I'd want to eradicate the feeling of isolation with my clustermates and create an environment where respect and unity is evident through chica sessions, online talks, and online sharing. I can't assure that there'd be no conflict in trying to make different points meet, because conflicts are the reason why peace can be found. Peace is something you get when you're able to resolve conflicts, which is why in order to make two different ends meet, we need to be able to express them, to talk about them, and of course in the beginning, not everyone would agree or even accept these differences, which is why it is my goal as your peacemaker to find ways for everyone to meet in the middle where differences are no longer an issue, rather they are recognized and embraced. With this, we are able to unite and show compassion, care, and empathy to everyone despite diversity, because everyone will be accepted and welcomed, for I am not their dictator, I am their ally. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. Now may we have Myria Jane Andrea M. Alvior from the Rome cluster. Take on the stage. Your timer starts now.
Good day, Ateneans! My name is Myria Jane Andrea Malvior from 12 Brito, and I am someone who is committed, reliable, and passionate. I am running for the position of Rome Cluster Representative, and here are my advocacies and platforms. First, enjoying learning under the new normal. Enhanced tutorial services is adapting to the current tutorial services of ADU with a modification on how it is done, particularly when there's a need for such. It may be done on a one-on-one basis. There's also the reviewer pool, where assistance is given before and during the examination period. Second, preparing for life after senior high. College education is the next step in the academic journey of every student. This project aims to prepare grade 12 students for college in their respective path. To discover more about college life and be inspired to choose the right career through career and college talks from our administrators, officers, and our very own Ates and Kuyas who are now in college. Last but not the least is the Zumba na Ateneans and promoting for physical fitness during the pandemic. This project aims to engage all students to take a break and have fun with friends through dancing. Again, I am looking forward to do all these activities with you guys this school year. I am Miria Jane Andremavior at your service.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Alvior. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: you mentioned Zumba na Ateneans as one of your advocacies. However, there is no doubt that there are some people who lack confidence in dancing and prefer not to show themselves dancing in front of the camera. Perhaps not join at all. How will you boost their self-esteem and encourage them to join this activity? Again, you mentioned Zumba na Ateneans as one of your advocacies. However, there is no doubt that there are some people who lack confidence in dancing and prefer not to show themselves dancing in front of the camera. Perhaps not join at all. How will you boost their self-esteem and encourage them to join this activity? Your timer starts now.
First of all, this event will not be compulsory. To make it that way will be to negate its aim to aid us in our mental and physical health. As to encouragement, I will be talking to our PE teachers in order to make one Zumba activity equivalent to one PE class, such the attendance to the event constitutes to the attendance of one PE class. As to self-esteem, I will be conducting an information drive to educate people as to the benefits of the event. This will hopefully incentivize people to join. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Ms. Alvior. Now may we call on Marie Andarian and Dormitorio from the Rome cluster. Take on the stage, your timer starts now.
A majesty to you, Ateneans. I am Marie Andrian Dormitorio, Rome Cluster Representative Aspirant. Join me in making Rome great as I present to you 5 of my platforms. First, generating cluster funds ensures that the cluster has more than enough allowance and sponsors that would support its financial needs. Second, Romantics promotes unity, camaraderie, and love within the cluster through online team-building organizations living up the Ignatian values. Third, Historia Kita, centered on valuing one's mental health and well-being by providing a safe space for learners needing accompaniment through the Rome online hotline. Fourth, Atenistang Feminista. All learners will be given equal opportunities to join in desired events. Women and LGBTQA+ community empowerment will be highlighted with the use of different social media platforms. Last, transparency keeps everyone updated with announcements and everything else they need to know about the Rome cluster. Proper communication between the cluster representative to the cluster council and to the learner body will be observed. Samahan si Dormitorio sa pagdala sa Roma ng pagbabago. Ubanan si Andrean, dalon ang Roma sa kalinawan.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Dormitorio. Your question for the impromptu section is: as a grade 11 learner aspiring to be a cluster representative, how will you ensure that your seniors will follow your proposed activities? Again, as a grade 11 learner aspiring to be a cluster representative, how will you ensure that your seniors will follow your proposed activities? Your timer starts now.
Allow me to ask you a question. How many grade 11 learners are there in the Rome cluster? Around 150. How many had the confidence and the dedication to service? Just one, and she is presenting herself in front of me. Stepping up here as a new student of the Ateneo de Davao University, it takes courage and bravery to stand here campaigning for myself. I believe that what makes a leader great is the passion to serve others and not one seniority over the learner body. I can lead and ensure that my seniors will participate in my proposed activities despite the fact I am younger than them, because people should never follow a person simply based off of a rigid age hierarchy. It is about following the deserving, following the dedicated, following the sui generis leader, and I believe I possess such qualities. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dormitorio. Now may we have Judy May C. Kalit from the Salamanca cluster. Take on the stage. Your timer starts now.
Ad Astra Abesos. Greetings, my fellow students from the Salamanca cluster. I am Judy May C. Kalit from grade 12 Borja, your aspiring cluster leader for this school year. We, as a cluster, should work together and create an environment where students can be themselves, whatever their gender identity, race, religion, or belief may be. As your cluster representative, I would like to focus on 3 of my platforms: Carry Mo Pa Ba, Roaring Creatives, and Study On. Carry Mo Pa Ba is a project where we'll initiate an online meeting as a cluster, ask about each other's well-being, and initiate activities that ensure that each member of this cluster feels that they are a part of the Salamanca family. Roaring Creatives, on the other hand, is a project where the members engage to create arts and crafts and sell them. This would also help small business owners. Then, the proceeds of this project would be added to the cluster's funds and the chosen charity organization, like the Children's Orphanage. This way, we can share the love and the blessings to the children who haven't felt and experienced things that we have. Lastly, the Study On, or the Study Hub On. It is a plan that we can create a Google Meet link where the members would join and study. With this, members can be motivated and hopefully have friends in the process. These are my planned activities for you, fellow learners. I hope you will be encouraged to step up and be you with these activities. Not only we can help each other out, but also others. We must step up and show courage and pride that we Lions have. Again, this is Judy Macy Kalit. Basta kay Kalit, ang serbisyo pinakalit. Thank you.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Miss Kalit. Now, your question for the impromptu section is: do you have any alternative plans for those students who want to join the Study Hub On but are having trouble connecting to the internet? Again, do you have any alternative plan for those students who want to join the Study Hub On but are having trouble connecting to the internet? Your timer starts now.
As of the students who doesn't have any stable internet connection, I have thought about that. These people can enter our so-called group chats where they can ask people or the students with the same subjects that they are having a hard time on, can ask some questions or answers in the solve problems that they are having a hard time to solve. While for the interaction and making friends, we can make a separate group chat or make use of our Discord servers that these students can interact and make friends. So by this usage of social media, we can maximize our efforts on making our community united. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Khaled. Now may we call on Ingrid Angel J. Laquina from the Salamanca cluster. Take on the stage. Your time starts now.
Hi, I'm Angel Laquina from 12 Favor, running for the position of Salamanca cluster representative. I believe that my years of experience in leading and serving a student body are of great help and undeniable assets in me serving the greater interests of the Salamanca cluster. I will serve the Salamanca cluster with one of the ways of serving I know, and that is by being me. First, awareness. Bringing awareness among the cluster members about relevant social issues we are facing today. Nurture every member of the cluster through different activities and team building sessions. Guide you towards empowerment and creativity. Encourage you to showcase your talents and skills through activities and organizing auditions that would build up your confidence. And lastly, listen to your concerns. A cluster where every member's voices are heard, establishing transparency and unity between each other. ANGEL. Angel. Awareness, nurture, guide, encourage, and listen. If I were to be your Salamanca cluster representative, I vow to lead well, make your roars be heard, and promote camaraderie and unity as one cluster, one Ateneo.
Your 1 minute and 30 seconds is up. Thank you for that, Ms. Laquina. Your question for the impromptu section is, in one of your platforms you have L, which stands for listening to your cluster members' concerns. However, as a cluster representative leading more or less 10 sections who hardly know their co-members, how will you prevent or fix problems that may arise within your cluster? Again, in one of your platforms you have L, which stands for listening to your cluster members' concerns. However, as a cluster representative leading more or less 10 sections who hardly know their co-members, how will you prevent or fix problems that may arise within your cluster? Your time starts now.
In every group or team, there will always be challenges and problems that will arise, which is also important to strengthen the group. In order to prevent and fix problems, as a cluster representative, I will be conducting a monthly survey through Google Forms, which will be disseminated by the help of class representatives. Also, there will be meetings together with the cluster council to discuss the concerns of every member. Since we are in an online setup, it will really be a challenge for me to cater every concerns of my members. But I believe that with my experiences as a student leader, I know I have the qualities of a sweet, generous leader to bring out the best of my team.
Thank you, Miss Laquina. With that, they can now proceed in giving out their final statement. First, we have Miss Tequila. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Once again, I am Laura Roldiquilia, your friend, your leader, that leaves you with a quote that says, "We rise by uplifting others. Thank you and make good choices."
Next, we have Miss Huertas. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Hello, oy, 15 seconds ra jud gihatag. E di carry lang, oy. I am Raj Huertas, running for your next Queen Joe of Jerusalem. Boring, oy. What a joke. Vote for Huertas, who will always be there for you. Fuego, Jerusalem.
Next, we have Miss Delas. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Dear Manresa, I hope you take this leap of faith with me because you know I'd do anything for you, besties. I would dance in a storm in my best dress fearless. Dahil kay Dallas, ang serbisyo ay limitless.
Next, we have Miss Novellero. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Given my platforms, it is in my hopes that we will flourish as one. Hence, kay Novellero sigurado ang serbisyo.
Next, we have Miss Haban. Your 15 seconds starts now.
So mga baby phoenixes, is it me or is it me? Of course it's me. Ako na yan. If you want the azul crown to prevail. Once again, I'm Francine Figaribea A. Haban, running for the position of your Pamplona cluster representative.
Next, we have Miss Barry Cuatro. Your 15 seconds starts now.
To my Paris Eagles, always remember, red is power and we are red. Kaya naman ngayong taon, ready na si Angelica para maging inyong susunod na inang agila.
Next, we have Mr. Ruiz. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Together we say CAW, Connect, Achieve, Win. Sa bawat abante at atras, aariba tayong lahat. Arriba, Paris! This is Charles Andrew Ruiz reporting and hoping to be part of your wings this school year.
Next, we have Miss Alvior. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Again, I am Miria Jane Andrea Malvior for Rome Cluster Representative. Basta si Ann, andyan lagi para sa'yo. Saan ka pa? Kay Andrea na.
Next, we have Miss Dormitorio. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Let us break the stereotypes about seniority in leaderships. Samahan si Dormitorio sa pagdala sa Roma ng pagbaba. Ubanan si Andrean, dalon ang Roma sa kalinang. Thank you.
Next, we have Miss Khalid. Your 15 seconds starts now.
We must step up and show courage and pride that we Lions have. Again, this is Judy Macy Khalid. Basta kay Khalid, ang serbisyo pinakalit. Thank you.
Finally, we have Miss Lopina. Your 15 seconds starts now.
Once again, I am Angel Aquina, the new face of Salamanca. Together, we shall roar and spread. Bugsay, Salamanca. Ayaw kalimpi, Lukina, 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 sa balota.
And that ends our Fast Talk for the day. We would like to say that was pretty amazing. It was mind-blowing. Don't you think, partner?
Right, and that is why we would like to say good job to our candidates for doing their best for this year's meeting, the Avance. Apart from that, we would like to extend our gratitude to the candidates who took this year's opportunity to serve the Ado Senior High School community. More than that, I hope more learners will be inspired by your dedication and passion.
But of course, our meeting the Avance doesn't end there. We have a very exciting intermission number from the Ateneo Voices. Please give them a warm, virtual round of applause.
Kahit di mo sinasabi, ramdam ko ang pagkukunwari. Akala'y masaya, ba't parang may lungkot sa tawa?
Bigat ng mga katanungan, dumadagat sa iyong isipan. Di kailangan na buhatin mag-isa. Di ka sayang, di kailangan manghinayang. Di ka sayang, di kailangan patunayan. Sarili ay mahalaga, kahit pa anong tingin nila. Tanggap kita.
Itapon na sa kalawakan, sa libong bakit na di matuldukan. Di kailangan na buhating mag-isa.
Di ka sayang, di kailangan manghinayang. Di ka sayang, di kailangan patunayan. Oh, sarili ay mahalaga, kahit pa anong tingin nila.
Tanggap kita.
Thank you for that amazing and extravagant presentation from the Ateneo Voices. To formally end our program, may we call on our Pulsong Atenista Student Government President, Ms. Denise Angela Diamante.
To all administrators, teachers, and to my fellow learners, a Majesty. We are once again in the student government election season, a time where leaders with passion for service step up and show you what they have to offer in order to make this school year an experience to remember. This is a time when we are given the freedom and opportunity to direct our future. Yes, we can't exactly know what the future will hold for us, but today we are empowered. Empowered to choose the leaders who we shall journey with for the rest of the academic year. To the candidates, congratulations. Dahil para sa akin, ngayon pa lang panalo na kayong lahat. The moment you decided to run and commit fully to this endeavor, you have already shown the amazing initiative of a true sui generis leader. You have put so much effort into your campaigns, and I'm more than certain that you have gained experiences that have molded you into better leaders yourselves. So again, ngayon pa lang, congratulations, panalo na kayo. Whatever the results may be, I trust that you will keep the fire of service burning. I'm certain that leaders like you will be able to continue to be of service to the community. After all, the end goal of all this is the formation of more competent leaders for a brighter future. To my fellow learners, I hope that you listen very closely to the platforms and advocacies of the candidates and really take them into consideration in choosing the leaders that would complete the Pulsong Atenista student government who are more than ready to serve you. Let us not waste this opportunity. Let us all vote wisely. Thank you, and ad maiorem Dei gloriam. Avante.
Thank you, Ms. Diamante. What a wonderful day it has been. Our utmost gratitude to our candidates, administrators, and to everyone who made this event successful and marvelous. This has been your host, Neil Batigayon
and Kiara Briones. This has been Meeting the Avance for Elections 2021. It is our honor to announce that the event has officially ended. Enjoy the rest of your day.